We're almost near to the Christmas holidays, but I'm still at work looking for promising turn-based RPGs and strategy games around the world. The new episode of the Keep an Eye on It is brilliant, at least I think so. It features some new games from famous franchises and brand new indie games expected for 2022. But before we start, please remember to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and also consider supporting us through our member program and Patreon page. Lots of perks, mystery box and contests awaits you. Anyway, let's go! A story-driven RPG that's brimming with style, Thirsty Suitors puts players in the shoes of Jala as she navigates the challenges of young adulthood. In hip turn-based battles, Jala will fend off the titular Suitors, get over her exes, and try to impress her mother by cooking traditional South Asian dishes. If all that weren't enough, Thirsty Suitors also features a skateboarding minigame that harkens back to the classic Dreamcast title Jet Green Radio. Thirsty Suitors is coming soon on Steam, so hopefully we will be able to play it in the near future.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the moment you've all been waiting for!
The grand reopening of the Circus Electrique.
Circus Electrique is unique in a way that few games can manage. Plenty of RPGs have turn-based battles, plenty of games are set in Victorian London. Only Circus Electrique features a roster of steampunk circus performers using their skills to save the day when ordinary Londoners mysteriously become vicious killers.
Talents like theirs to free it.
This is a game with a ton of potential, 14 character classes, each based around the type of circus act, mean party builds and diverse and adaptable. The game promises a fair amount of tongue-in-cheek humor as the enemy types are medieval Victorian archetypes like bobbies and sailors. Circus Electrique is coming soon and its Steam page invites you to come one come all and see for yourself if this could be the greatest show on earth. Stardark's long-running 4X series Galactic Civilizations returns for its 4th installment. The franchise has always had just about everything a player could want in a Space 4X, from strange alien factions to heavily customizable ship to impactful decision points.
They with us, beings who have never been in contact together before, now find.
It's also one of the only turn-based space game to use a hex grid instead of nodes and star lanes, so if you're looking for something at once familiar and different, now is a great time to get into the series. Galactic Civilization IV is currently available in early access at the Epic Games Store.
What kind of people we want to be. Find new ways to harness our worlds. Because the stakes have never been bigger.
The stellar in my body.
Are you trying to catch the stars?
Honkai Star Rail is the newest in the Honkai series from MiHoYo, creators of a little game you may have heard of called Genshin Impact. While Honkai hasn't quite achieved the same global notoriety as its younger cousin, it's still a successful franchise on its own right. The newest interstellar JRPG journey uses anime charm. MiYoYo games are all good looking, and Star Rail looks to set a new standard for mobile games in terms of appearance. The game is seriously gorgeous and should have all the trappings of a game that players can pour hundreds of hours into if they choose. It's still in beta, with a planned release date of mid to late 2022, but you can pre-register an account at TapTap.io.
Humans never conceal their desire to control the heavens, so why would I?
If I told you my story, you probably wouldn't believe it. I've seen the natural wonders of another world. I've discovered mysteries long forgotten.
A beautifully hand-drawn game about deep-sea exploration, Aquamarine challenges players to take it slow and make a plan. You'll be exploring an alien ecosystem, so interacting with the environment could have a surprising effect which will need to be taken into account in the future. Crafting and survival elements are both present, and you'll need to manage your supplies each time you dive into the strange depths of the game's oceans. The gameplay should be compelling enough for fans of survival games, but art style alone will be sure to make other players take notice as well. Best of all, Aquamarine's story is full of mystery. The player will need to slowly piece together what's happening to the ocean-covered planet, and why the protagonist is trapped there. The game is expected to be released on Steam in the first quarter of 2022.
This land, Karkan, for people like us, has nothing to offer. Nothing except suffering and death.
Clash 2 looks to be an attractive option for fans of Battle Brothers or perhaps Mount & Blade players who would prefer turn-based battles over real-time. Like both of those games, it features a low fantasy version of medieval Europe. Players will take command of either the Purians, hoping to spread their monotheistic faith across the land, or the Hetans, defending their traditions against the invaders.
Prepare to march!
The game features units inspired by the real-world equivalents of the two forces, with fantasy creatures thrown in for good measure. Clash 2's strategic layer promises diplomacy and technological advancement, giving it a bit more meat between its grid-based tactical battles. The war for Kakan begins on April 7, 2022 on Steam. The GBA Classic returns. Advance Wars 1-2 Reboot Camp brings two fan-favorite games to the Switch. Longtime fans will no doubt want to pick it up right away, but if you never played Advance Wars, you are in for a treat. If you enjoy the gameplay of Fire Emblem, you'll be right at home here. It even boasts a versus mode, so you can play against friends. This version of Advance Wars was developed by WayForward, who have an established track record of updating retro games for modern audiences. As an aside, did anyone else feel a chill in the air upon realizing that GBA games are retro now, or was that just me?
Play the first two Advance Wars campaigns in Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp! Marching on to
The implacable march of time aside, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp will be available on Switch during spring of 2022. Square Enix recent remakes of the original Dragon Quest titles have been a threat for fans as well as great entry points for players new to the series, updating the graphic and music while keeping the old school sound effects and systems intact provides a great blend of the old and the new. If you haven't yet picked up the remake of Dragon Quest III, it could be worth waiting for the forthcoming HD version. Dragon Quest III HD 2D does not yet have an official release date or list of available platforms, but it's a safe bet you'll be able to get it on Switch, PS5 and Xbox Series S at the very least sometime in 2022. Speaking of Square Enix, they've been riding high on Final Fantasy VII with the success of the long-anticipated remake. The newest announced addition to their growing library of games set in Midgar is actually another remake of Final Fantasy VII, Ever Crisis, purports to be more faithful to the original, replacing the old blocky characters models with better looking ones but keeping the feel of the PS1 version. Like the big budget remake, Ever Crisis will be released in episodes, but not at all of them will be from the original storyline. This allows the developers to include new side stories and adaptations of spin-offs like Before Crisis. Maybe we'll get to see some of Barrett's adventure with Dyne, witnesses the last day of Harriet's birth mother. There are a lot of possibilities here. Hopefully Square Enix uses this power for good. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis does not yet have an official release date, but is expected to be available for Android and iOS sometime in 2022. Nippon Ichi Software is primarily known for bringing long, complex JRPGs like this Gaia to the West. Its upcoming title, The Cruel King and the Great Hero, looks to be a bit more casual. The game visuals are absolutely stunning, keeping the game's storybook theme throughout. The story itself is nothing we haven't seen before. A heroine from humble beginnings goes on a quest to save the world from evil, but it's told in such a charming way that we want to tag along for the journey once again. The game is scheduled to release in USA on March 1st and in Europe on March 4th of 2022 on Switch and PS4. This video ends here. Please let me know what you think about these 10 promising turn-based RPGs and strategy games in the comments below. Remember to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and also consider supporting us through our member program and Patreon page. Lots of perks, mystery box and contests awaits you. Wish you the best, ciao!